Welcome to the HTML and CSS tutorial series. My name is Aniket. Today we are going to start with CSS, cascading style sheets. In my previous video tutorial series, we have already explained what is HTML, how to work with HTML forms, how to use HTML5 features, and so on. Please watch the HTML tutorial series. Now in this tutorial series, I am going to start with CSS, cascading style sheet. Now what is cascading style sheet? So CSS sets the rules for defining how an HTML element will be presented in the browser. So what do we need to specify? If I am adding a content in HTML, how it looks in the browser, that can be set with the help of CSS. So the CSS is something related to the colors. So I want to set the font color, I want to set the background color, I want to specify the font, which type of font that I want to use, I want to specify the font size, I want to specify the spacing between the elements, I want to specify the borders, I want to specify the positions, that is layout in my browser, in my page. That can be easily set with the help of CSS. Now how we can achieve this? So there are three types of CSS. So first is external CSS. Now as a name given to this, external means what? We have to create an external CSS file, and that we need to include in our HTML page. Now the purpose is, if you have a multiple HTML pages and you want the same CSS for multiple HTML pages, you will use external CSS. Okay, I will repeat the statement. Whenever you have multiple HTML pages and you want same CSS for all the pages, that time you will use external CSS. For example, I have created a style.css as external CSS file. I will write the CSS. So I will explain what this code is when we will go for a practical implementation. And we have one HTML file named as index.html. So I want to include this CSS file in the HTML. For that we'll use the link tag. So link means I want to link the external CSS file. href stands for hyperreference. I want to add the external CSS. I have specified the name of file style.css. rel stands for relation. So relation with the file is a style sheet. What I am adding into the HTML, it is a style sheet. So this tag you need to specify into the head section. Okay. So first, external CSS, whenever we want to apply a same look and feel for multiple HTML pages, we'll use external CSS. Second is internal CSS. Now as a name suggested, internal CSS means I want to apply look and feel to the single HTML page. For that we need to specify our CSS into the style tag. So I will use style tag with the start tag. Inside it I will write the CSS and end of the style tag. Don't worry what we need to specify inside the style tag or inside the external CSS file. At the time of practical implementation I will explain you in detail. Okay. And the third type of CSS is inline CSS. Now as a name suggested, inline means inside the HTML tag. Purpose is, if I want to specify a look and feel for a specific element, we'll use inline CSS. How to use it? For example, I want to apply CSS for a paragraph. So inside the p tag I have added style as attribute equals to, in double quotes, I can specify the CSS. So this CSS will be applied to the paragraph. Similarly, inline CSS can be implemented for any HTML element. The way is the same. For example, if you are using div tag, so you can use a div style equals to, you can specify the style for it. Okay. So first of all, we'll start with external CSS. What we need to do is, So we have one file, HTML file. Similarly, we need to add some external CSS. That is, I will add here new file. I will name it as style.css. So in this CSS file, I will write the CSS. What we need to write, we'll understand. Next, how to add this. So inside the head section, I will include link tag, hyphen reference, name of the file style.css, sorry, relation is style sheet. Okay, and we can close the tag. That means what? I have linked the external CSS in the file. Okay, so in the next tutorial series, I'm going to start with selectors in CSS. So please like and subscribe the channel, and please watch the next series as well, that is based on selectors in CSS. Thank you so much.